Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief Show. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we're diving into some exciting news from around the world and right here in Hong Kong. First up, meet Hong Kong's rowing star, Chiu Hin-chun. After winning 2 silver medals at the World Cup, he's aiming even higher, targeting medals at the upcoming World Championships, the National Games, and ultimately aiming for LA 2028. His focus on lightweight events and competing against top athletes shows Hong Kong's rising strength in rowing. Next, if you're staying in Hong Kong this weekend, don't worry about the heat, there are plenty of indoor fun options. From the latest Superman movies and K-pop screenings to Korean fashion pop-ups at Times Square, there's something for everyone. Bars are also hosting special menus and guest shifts to keep the party going. So, whether you're into movies, fashion, or fitness, you'll find ways to enjoy your weekend indoors. Finally, the Hong Kong stock market is looking pretty optimistic. The Hang Seng Index jumped over 1% this week, driven by hopes of better earnings and policy support from Beijing. Major companies like Alibaba and Tencent are on the rise, and Wuxi app tech's profit surge is giving investors even more confidence. Despite global uncertainties, Hong Kong's market remains resilient, showing strong signs of recovery and growth. Please continue to stay tuned for more detailed updates. The South China Morning Post reports on Hong Kong Olympian Chiu Hin-chun's pursuit of rowing excellence, highlighting his recent successes at the World Cup in Italy and Switzerland, where he secured silver medals in lightweight men's single sculls. Chiu, a seasoned 2-time Olympian, has demonstrated significant progress, making it to finals previously out of reach and showcasing Hong Kong's competitive potential on the world stage. With upcoming events like the World Championships in Shanghai and the National Games at the Guangdong International Rowing Center, Chiu aims to leverage the lightweight category to stabilize his training and maximize his chances for medals, especially with the Asian Games next year, where he has already earned silver and bronze medals. His strategic focus on the lighter weight class, which offers more manageable training conditions compared to open weight, underscores his ambition to reach the finals and improve his international standing. The South China Morning Post also details a vibrant weekend in Hong Kong filled with indoor activities amid the rainy weather. Cinephiles can indulge in screenings of the latest Superman film, featuring David Corenswet as the new Clark Kent, who faces suspicion and manipulation from Lex Luthor in a lively, less earnest take on the superhero saga. Meanwhile, K-pop fans are invited to immerse themselves in Hybe Cine Fest, a massive screening event showcasing BTS's Map of the Soul on concert and other performances, with tickets quickly selling out. For fitness enthusiasts, a mini High Rocks training session at Central Pier offers a chance to try the high-intensity 8 km race paired with 8 exercises, with Puma providing shoes for trial and discounts for participants. The weekend also boasts a celebration of Korean fashion at Lane Crawford's pop-up in Causeway Bay and a series of exclusive bar events ahead of the announcement of Asia's 50 Best Bars 2025, promising a lively mix of cultural and entertainment experiences despite the weather. The Toronto Star covers the latest tumult in the U.S. and global markets, focusing on President Donald Trump's announcement of plans to impose broad tariffs on trading partners, including a potential 35% tariff on goods from Canada. This escalation has caused futures for the S&P 500 to dip slightly and the dollar to strengthen modestly, reflecting investor concern over trade tensions and their impact on economic stability. Meanwhile, Asian markets responded with some gains earlier in the week before paring back, as Hong Kong authorities intervened to prevent the local currency from falling beyond its trading band. In corporate news, Nissan raised $4.5 billion through a record-high junk bond sale, signaling its ongoing financial struggles, while J.P. Morgan Chase considers adjusting its emerging market bond index to better reflect the debt landscape of developing nations like China and India. Overall, market movements remain cautious amid geopolitical uncertainties, with investors eyeing upcoming earnings reports and macroeconomic developments. According to the South China Morning Post, China's economic outlook remains cautiously optimistic but fraught with uncertainties. As the nation prepares to release its first-half GDP data, analysts are scrutinizing whether the apparent resilience in growth, expected to surpass 5%, is masking deeper issues such as weak domestic demand and employment struggles. Despite the positive headline figures, experts warn that external pressures from the U.S. trade war and the risk of deglobalization could threaten sustainable growth. Economists like Lian Ping and Huang Yiping advocate for more proactive fiscal policies to counteract these challenges, emphasizing that without substantial stimulus, China might face a deflationary spiral. Meanwhile, some analysts argue that China's actual consumption levels are stronger than official metrics suggest, highlighting a disconnect between macroeconomic data and on-the-ground realities, such as subdued retail spending and industry profits, which point to underlying vulnerabilities despite the upbeat headline numbers. The South China Morning Post also reports on Hong Kong's stock market momentum, which has been buoyed by optimism over corporate earnings and anticipated policy support from Beijing. The Hang Seng Index has gained 1.7% this week, driven by positive earnings reports from companies like Wuxi AppTech, Alibaba, and Tencent, and expectations of further stimulus measures amid persistent deflation concerns. Investors are increasingly optimistic that upcoming political meetings and recent economic data will prompt additional government intervention to bolster growth. Across Asia-Pacific, markets show mixed responses, with Japan's Nikkei remaining steady and South Korea and Australia experiencing minor fluctuations. The overall sentiment suggests a cautious confidence that despite external trade tensions, regional economies are resilient enough to sustain a recovery trajectory, supported by strong corporate earnings and policy signals. In Hong Kong, the focus on large-scale infrastructure and cultural projects reveals a delicate balance between transparency, public perception, and economic development, as detailed by the South China Morning Post. Initiatives like the Cyberport project and the West Kowloon Cultural District exemplify efforts to foster innovation, arts, and urban renewal while navigating public skepticism over potential collusion or favoritism. These projects leverage land use and commercial development to finance public services, exemplifying innovative urban planning that aligns economic growth with cultural enrichment. However, public criticism persists over perceived inequalities and the transparency of decision-making processes. Hong Kong's governance, reinforced by the independent ICAC, stands in stark contrast to the U.S. administration's perceived conflicts of interest, emphasizing the importance of integrity, accountability, and proactive anti-corruption measures in maintaining public trust and upholding its reputation as a global leader in governance. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong's decision to adopt mainland railway standards for the Northern Link Spur line in the northern metropolis is a strategic move that could revolutionize infrastructure development in the city. By leveraging China's extensive and rapidly advancing railway network, Hong Kong aims to cut costs by 20 to 30% and accelerate project completion by 2 to 4 years, targeting a 2034 finish. Experts highlight that mainland standards, which are largely aligned with European and American benchmarks, allow for cost-efficient practices such as prefabricated modular construction and the reuse of tunnel boring machines across multiple projects, unlike Hong Kong's traditional single-use approach. This shift not only promises significant savings, cutting tunnel construction costs from 1 billion Hong Kong dollars per kilometer to a fraction of that, but also streamlines procurement and sourcing by utilizing mainland factories and materials, thus addressing Hong Kong's notorious high costs and supply chain inefficiencies. The South China Morning Post also emphasizes China's burgeoning railway industry, which has become the largest high-speed network globally, with over 50,000 kilometers of tracks and trains capable of reaching 400 kilometers each. The country's rapid advancements in railway technology and safety standards position it as a leader in international standards and project execution. China's experience in constructing extensive high-speed railways, coupled with its ability to procure materials at lower costs through bulk purchasing, provides a significant procurement advantage. The mainland's safety record is impressive, with a track record of smooth operations and minimal incidents, reinforcing its credibility. Hong Kong's potential adoption of mainland standards for the Northern Link project could serve as a pilot, opening doors for more cross-border infrastructure projects that benefit from China's expertise, extensive network, and cost efficiencies. According to the South China Morning Post, Hong Kong's historical reliance on British standards, rooted in its colonial past, has contributed to its high construction costs, ranking it among the most expensive cities globally for infrastructure development. The city's supply chain for European standard materials is more costly and less flexible, especially for specialized components like tunnel boring machines, which are often scrapped after a single use. Transitioning to mainland standards could significantly reduce costs by enabling the reuse of machinery and sourcing materials domestically, thus transforming Hong Kong's construction landscape. This strategic shift aligns with broader trends of integrating mainland expertise into Hong Kong's infrastructure development, promising faster, cheaper, and more efficient projects, and potentially setting a new precedent for future collaborations that capitalize on China's expanding railway prowess. South China Morning Post highlights the artisanal spirit thriving in Sai Kung's Old Town, where local craftsmanship and cultural pride intertwine. Olympian, a vibrant shop with an eye-catching orange facade and wave-shaped mural, serves as a showcase for Hong Kong's talented artisans. Inside, visitors discover a curated collection of handcrafted jewelry, ceramics, and textiles, all created by 22 local artists. Hebe Law, the shop's founder, designs her own leather bags inspired by traditional Chinese motifs, blending Western creativity with Chinese symbolism. Law's dedication to supporting local talent and preserving Hong Kong's cultural identity is evident in her preference for in-person sales, fostering meaningful interactions with customers and sharing stories behind each piece. Her handcrafted calligraphy and unique accessories exemplify the city's artisanal diversity, making Olympian a treasure trove of Hong Kong's creative spirit and a testament to the city's rich cultural tapestry. South China Morning Post also reports on Agibot, a humanoid robot startup backed by Tencent, which plans to acquire a controlling stake in Shanghai-listed Swanker Advanced Materials for around 2 billion yuan. This move hints at the company's ambition to pursue a backdoor listing in Shanghai, potentially making it the first Chinese humanoid robot manufacturer to go public in the city. The acquisition reflects the booming robotics industry in China, where multiple companies aim to produce thousands of robots this year to meet rising demand. Despite the excitement, uncertainties remain, especially since Agibot, founded in 2023, does not meet the typical requirements for a reverse IPO, and its plans are still subject to regulatory approval. The deal has sparked investor enthusiasm, with Swanker's shares soaring, and could pave the way for Agibot to expand its funding and operational scope, positioning itself as a key player in China's rapidly evolving robotics landscape. Finally, South China Morning Post introduces Emily Allen Lind, a rising star in Hollywood whose early success and diverse talents have made her a notable figure. At just 23, Lind has already appeared in over 40 productions, beginning her acting journey at age 6. She gained widespread recognition for her role in the reboot of Gossip Girl and now stars as Cadence Sinclair Eastman in Amazon's hit series We Were Liars, where her portrayal of a complex, amnesiac teenager has captivated audiences. Lind's background is steeped in acting, with her mother, Barbara Allen Woods, and father, John Lind, both involved in the industry, and her siblings also pursuing acting careers. Beyond acting, she's a fashion enthusiast, frequently seen at high-profile events and magazine shoots, and a talented singer who released her debut single in 2019. Lind's commitment to philanthropy, especially supporting the Make-A-Wish Foundation, highlights her dedication to giving back, making her not only a talented performer but also a compassionate young star shaping her promising future. South China Morning Post vividly captures the playful spirit of summer fashion through a lively collaboration between Tory Burch and Bonbon, a Swedish candy brand. Their pastel-hued accessories, like the Miller sandal and Fleming mini bag, evoke a sweet, candy-inspired aesthetic that perfectly embodies the season's fun and colorful vibe. Complementing this, British brand Jellycat's plush toys, featuring charming characters like coconuts and dragon fruits, add a whimsical touch to summer accessories, making them not just adorable but also perfect for beach outings or playful bag charms. Meanwhile, Jimmy Choo elevates the humble jelly sandal with a sparkling, crystal-embellished design, blending classic beachwear with a touch of luxury, ideal for a relaxed yet stylish summer look. The South China Morning Post also delves into Pete Davidson's eclectic and flamboyant watch collection, revealing a man whose style is as vibrant and unpredictable as his personality. Davidson's collection includes understated Rolex Datejusts in Eve Rose Gold and Oyster Steel, which he recently purchased as matching his and her sets, showcasing a surprising preference for accessible luxury despite his multi-million-dollar net worth. His choice of a bold, custom red dial Rolex and a complex Patek Philippe Aquanaut chronograph highlights his flair for dramatic, statement-making pieces, contrasting with his more relatable Casio G-Shock, which emphasizes his down-to-earth appeal. This mix of high-end and everyday watches underscores Davidson's unique fashion sense, dynamic, daring, and unapologetically individualistic. South China Morning Post reports on a potentially historic diplomatic encounter as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio hints at a meeting with China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi during an ASEAN summit in Malaysia. This would mark the first face-to-face engagement since Rubio took office, amid ongoing tensions over trade, Taiwan, and China's expanding influence in the Indo-Pacific. The prospective meeting signals a possible thaw in U.S.-China relations, especially as Rubio's hawkish stance on issues like Taiwan and Hong Kong remains firm, despite Beijing's sanctions against him. Such a dialogue could pave the way for broader negotiations on tariffs, fentanyl, and regional security, hinting at a potential summit between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping later this year, which would be a significant step towards stabilizing tense diplomatic relations in a region marked by strategic competition. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Power games in darkened rooms. Spend their lives to seal our doom. Oh, oh, oh. Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Our games in darkened rooms. forget